Welcome in to the hearth. I am the magical wise woman next door. Step into my cottage, have a seat by the fire, and get cozy. The hearth is where I share the inspiration, the rituals and practices, and the wisdom behind living an intentional, energetically aligned, and a magically enhanced life. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's begin. Hello there. Welcome in. Have a seat by the fire. Today I want to talk to you about haircuts and how you can magically enhance them. This week I'll be getting my own haircut, and I plan them in a way that is magically enhanced, and I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you so you can do the same if that speaks to you. So aside from being a master manifester and having studied and taught and practiced and mastered that for nearly 3 decades, I'm also a certified astrologer. And you'll see why I just shared that with you in a moment. When I schedule my haircuts, I look to see what's going on with the astrology. It's not complicated. Anyone can take a peek at these couple things that I'm talking about. And I just wanted to share them with you. So there are 3 things that I look at before I schedule my next haircut. One is, what sign is the moon in? The moon changes signs about every 2.5 days on average. So I'll take a look at my lunar calendar that I have on my phone and see which sign the moon is in for the days that I'm thinking about scheduling. Of course, there are 12 signs, the astrological signs, from Aries through Pisces, and the moon moves through all of those. Some of those signs are really supportive of things like a haircut, and some I would avoid. Others are kind of neutral, but our haircuts stay with us for a while. So I like to take the time to make sure that I get a haircut on a day that's either supported, if I can, by the moon sign, or at least not detrimental. So I'll get a neutral day. Depending on what I'm looking for, too, that can affect what I'm doing. So signs that are really supportive, the number one sign that's really supportive of getting a haircut or anything done to your hair is when the moon is in the sign of Leo. And when the sun is in Leo. Leo season in the summer is a great time for getting anything done with your hair, because Leo actually rules the hair. If you think about a lion, one of the first things you probably think about is their mane. And so I look for a day that the moon is in Leo. That's number one. If that doesn't look like it's feasible, it's not at the right time, it's too early, it's too late in my haircut cycle, or it's just not going to fit with my schedule, then the next sign that I like to look for is the sign of Virgo. And the reason I look for Virgo is because Virgo is the sign of perfectionism. Now, that might not matter if you have long hair and you're just looking for something soft and layering, and precision isn't really the goal. But if you have short hair, getting your hair just right is pretty important because it stands out a lot when it's not just right. So the top 2 signs that I look for to schedule a haircut is when the moon is in Leo. And if that's not going to work out, I look for the moon in Virgo. Another sign I'm okay with is the moon in Capricorn, because that's a serious get things done kind of sign. And that actually happens to be when I'm getting my next haircut, is the moon is in Capricorn. And that's also my rising sign. So I'm comfortable with the Capricorn energy. I also happen to know my hairdresser is Capricorn, so she'll be in her own vibe that day. I'm not telling you to go ask your hairdresser what their signs are, but feel free to. It's always fun to know. She shared with me certain signs that when the moon is in, she just does not feel good. She's off. So I also avoid scheduling haircuts on those days. Now, moon signs that I tend to avoid scheduling haircuts on, and I suggest you do the same, is when the moon is in Pisces. Pisces is a lovely sign. These are not anything about the sun signs, or if you're any of these signs, these aren't about your personality or anything like that. It's just about this particular thing, getting a haircut when the moon is in the sign. Pisces is very dreamy and lofty. I want both myself and my hairdresser to be paying attention to my haircut. And I'm sure you do too. I don't want her daydreaming. I don't want me daydreaming and then coming back into focus and being like, what has happened to my hair? Right? So I definitely avoid the moon in Pisces for haircuts. The other signs that I might avoid is Gemini, because Gemini is the sign of the twins. Now, Gemini is for communication, so it's good for that reason. But if you're going to get something new, and not your usual thing, you might get something if the moon is in Gemini and then later change your mind, because that's a Gemini thing. So I would avoid when the moon is in Pisces and the moon is in Gemini. Other signs are pretty neutral. Like I said, Capricorn does not come to mind when I'm thinking of a haircut, but it's not something that I'd be like, oh, maybe I won't get a haircut when the moon is in Capricorn. Like, it's fine. It's no big deal. Okay. Now, the next thing is also astrological, and that is when Mercury is in retrograde. You probably know a lot about Mercury retrograde. People talk about it all the time. Why I would avoid getting a haircut when Mercury is in retrograde is because communication can really not be clear. It can just frankly fail. So especially if you're going to a new hairdresser or you're going to get a new hairstyle or haircut, I would definitely avoid scheduling that haircut during Mercury retrograde. I would make sure that it's on the outside of that period. If it's your same hairdresser, if you're getting the same haircut you always get, I wouldn't worry about it, because there's not really much to communicate at that point, right? It's the same thing that you are used to getting. So that would be okay. So that's the other thing that I would avoid, and the other astrological elements. I've told you there are 3 points that I pay attention to when I'm scheduling a haircut. First is the moon sign. Second is Mercury retrograde. The third one is the day of the week. So each of the days of the week correspond with a planet, god or goddess, or an archetype energy. So one in particular is about beauty, and that is Friday, which is ruled by Venus. Venus rules beauty. She also rules money and harmony and relationships. So Friday is a great day to get a haircut or do anything beauty related, really. If you're going to get a facial or get your nails done, Friday is a really good day to magically enhance those experiences. So that's what I have for you today. 3 ways that you can magically enhance your next haircut or every haircut moving forward. Check the moon sign. Is Mercury in retrograde, especially if you're going for something new or going to see someone new to do your hair. And you can get it on a Friday for beauty magic. Until next time, I'll see you back here at the hearth. This was a glimpse of what lives inside the hearth, my private audio membership, where I share more drops, more depth, and more of the wisdom behind how to actually live an intentional, energetically aligned, and magically enhanced life. If this resonated, I invite you to come inside and have a seat by the fire. You'll find what you need at the link in the show notes. I'll see you at the hearth. The fire is always lit, and you're always welcome.